Classroom Dynamics is supported by Logitech. As education continues to evolve, so does Logitech Education, your partner in content creation for the classroom. With Logitech's cutting-edge technology, students not only learn but also become content creators. Whether it's in person or online, Logitech's tools are designed to inspire educators and learners alike. Capture every educational moment in stunning detail and edit, produce, and share your creative journey with ease. Logitech Education, inspiring the next generation of creators. For more, visit logitech.com/education, transforming classrooms one innovation at a time. Every classroom has the potential to be extraordinary, and the Logitech Reach adjustable content camera is your partner in making that happen. With its flexible arm and clear video, you can now showcase everything from detailed drawings to live experiments, ensuring that every student is engaged and involved. Whether you're teaching in person or online, Logitech Reach helps you connect with your students in a whole new way. Ready to take your lessons further? Visit logitech.com/reach and elevate your classroom to a whole new level. Welcome to Classroom Dynamics, Bits and Bytes, the podcast within the podcast where we explore cutting-edge technologies for your classroom. Hi everybody, I'm your host Adam Todd, and today we're talking all about a brand new feature from ChatGPT that just might revolutionize how students study, how teachers get support, and how all of us learn. ChatGPT calls it study mode, and no, it's not just a fancier version of homework help. This isn't your average Q&A chatbot experience either. It's a very real, personalized, interactive, student-first approach to mastering the material that they're studying. It's designed for deeper understanding and not just fast answers. So what makes study mode so different? Let's say that you're prepping for an AP biology test, brushing up on a geometry unit, or trying to untangle a tough chapter in Romeo and Juliet. Instead of just throwing you the answers, ChatGPT guides you, asking higher-order thinking questions right at you. It guides you to think, reflect, and engage as if you had a real study partner or tutor sitting right next to you. Students can paste in class notes, they can upload a study guide, or they can even type out a textbook question, and it will work with them in a collaborative, thoughtful way, literally step by step. It even remembers what you've been working on, so when you come back, you're not just starting from scratch. Study mode builds a mini study journey tailored to their goals. And educators, this is where it gets really interesting. Your students get real-time feedback, prompting metacognition and skill building, not just content recall. Study mode is the next best leap to help drive student results, and this means it's also a giant leap for individualized and extremely specific personalized learning, both in and out of the classroom. Just make sure that you've activated study mode in your ChatGPT account. It's accessible to all logged in users on free, plus, pro, and team plans, meaning educators and learners can access it without needing a paid subscription. There's no requirement for a plus or pro account. Users with free ChatGPT accounts can turn on study mode by selecting Tools and then clicking on Study and Learn in the chat interface. This includes high school and college-age students ages 13 and over with parental consent and teachers using ChatGPT for instructional or tutoring purposes. Now for more on ChatGPT's new study mode, how to get started, and some really good examples of how students can use it right now, here are our Google Notebook language model hosts, Bits and Bytes.
Okay, let's unpack this. We've all seen AI's incredible power for, getting quick answers. But the real challenge, I think, has been figuring out how to use it for deeper learning, for actually retaining knowledge without just feeling, overwhelmed. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a feature that really promises to bridge that gap: ChatGPT's new study mode. Our mission here is to explore what exactly study mode is, walk you through getting started, and then show you with some real examples how it could genuinely transform your learning process.
Yeah, this is a really significant development, isn't it? It's much more than just another small update. Study mode feels like a clear pivot, really moving ChatGPT beyond being just a simple answer engine. Its core aim seems to be shifting from providing those instant solutions to actually helping you gradually build genuine understanding. And that's a huge turning point, especially when you think about how widely used ChatGPT already is for, complex homework and exam prep around the world.
So the big idea isn't just about what ChatGPT gives you, but how it makes you work for it. Is that the heart of it? Pushing the user to construct knowledge.
Precisely. And what's really fascinating here is how this mode tries to ensure you don't just, consume results, but actually engage deeply with the content.
Mhm.
At its core, study mode uses a set of pretty sophisticated, custom-built guidelines. Think of them like specialized AI rules or algorithms. These were designed working closely with teachers, academics, and experts in educational design. They've really woven in key principles from educational research. Things like active participation by the learner.
Right, getting you involved.
Exactly. And reducing cognitive overload so you don't feel swamped. Also strengthening metacognition, basically, thinking about how you think and learn.
Ah, that's crucial.
Yeah, and encouraging self-reflection, fostering curiosity, and giving you individual supportive feedback that's tailored just for you.
Okay, so those principles sound great, but how do they actually show up? Like, what does the user see or interact with?
Well, you'll notice interactive prompts straight away. These aren't just basic questions, they're more Socratic, offering targeted hints, encouraging reflection.
Getting you to think it through yourself.
Right. Then there's structured feedback. It organizes info into clear sections, which helps make even complex stuff easier to follow, avoiding that information overload. Third, personalized support. This means the difficulty level and the explanations actually adapt based on your knowledge and how you're doing.
That sounds really useful.
It is. Fourth, you get knowledge checks, short quizzes, open-ended tasks to help you consolidate what you've learned and kind of track your progress. And finally, there's great flexibility. You can flip study mode on or off anytime during a chat to fit what you need right then.
And the good news for everyone listening, study mode is available right now. If you're a registered user of the free, plus, pro, or team versions, you've got it. For those in education settings, the Adu version is rolling out in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and the initial feedback from university trials sounds incredibly positive. Some users are calling it like an all-knowing drop-in session available round the clock.
Wow, okay, that definitely signals this is a pretty big step forward for AI and learning. All right, so we've laid out what study mode is supposed to do, but for me, and I bet for a lot of you listening, the big question is, okay, how do I actually get my hands on this and start using it today? It's actually pretty simple. Here's your step-by-step guide to enabling study mode right now. First, just log in to ChatGPT, either on your browser or the mobile app. Next, click on your profile icon. You'll usually find that at the top right of the screen. From that menu, select Tools, which is in the Writing Prompts area. And finally, you just toggle on study mode and then restart your current chat. That's really it.
And you'll notice a shift almost immediately. Like within seconds, its whole tone changes. Questions will pop up before you get answers. Hints will replace direct solutions. The underlying principle here is really crucial. Study mode works best when you actively resist that urge to just copy-paste the question or prompt. So for instance, when it asks you to describe something in your own words, actually pause. Maybe jot down your explanation, sketch a quick diagram, or try to relate it to something you already know. These kinds of deliberate actions, they're what turn passive reading into actual neural firing across different parts of your brain. And research suggests this can boost retention by like up to 30% compared to just shallow review.
So it sounds like active engagement is the real secret sauce here. But the breakthrough seems to be that study mode isn't just feeding you facts, it's actively training your brain to ask better questions and make those connections itself. That feels like a powerful shift. So how can listeners start prompting it effectively to get into that active learning loop?
Exactly. That's the core idea.
Yeah.
To kick things off, you could try prompting it with things like, ask me a follow-up question after I explain photosynthesis, or maybe quiz me on 5 examples of metaphors and tell me why they work. The more you prompt it to question you, the better it gets.
Oh, okay.
You can really customize your learning path too. If a topic feels too easy, push it for more. Ask for challenges like, give me an advanced calculus problem involving derivatives, or as for applications maybe, how does this theorem apply in engineering?
And what about the other way around? What if you're hitting a wall, really stuck on something? How does it help you break through without just giving the game away?
That's a great question. If you're stuck, definitely don't just ask for the answer. Instead, prompt for things like step-by-step breakdowns. You could say, explain this proof in 3 simple stages, or ask for analogies. Something like, can you compare blockchain consensus to maybe a classroom voting system? This back and forth helps fine-tune the difficulty and keeps you in what psychologists call the productive struggle zone.
Productive struggle. I like that.
Yeah, it's proven to be where learning is optimized. It's about, wrestling with the material just enough to build those neural pathways.
That makes total sense. And this tool feels like it's perfectly designed for those short, focused study sessions. We know those are way more effective than cramming, right? So instead of trying these long, draining study marathons, Maybe try using study mode in, say, 15 to 20-minute sprints. Pick just one concept, maybe cellular respiration. Answer ChatGPT's questions, take some notes, then take a short break, maybe just 5 minutes, and then revisit the key points.
That spaced repetition really helps cement the knowledge over time.
Exactly. And you can even integrate visual aids, maybe draw something or make a mind map. Or get this, have ChatGPT quiz you on your own notes. Imagine asking it, based on my summary, what key term did I miss? That's a pretty incredible way to reinforce learning. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how, but the real magic, I think, is seeing study mode in action. Let's try to paint a picture of how students are actually using this. We're going to walk through 3 really diverse examples from elementary school up to high school, showing how students are already using study mode to hit their learning goals. First up, let's imagine an elementary school student, maybe a 4th grader, who's wrestling with fractions. Specifically, adding and subtracting fractions with those tricky, unlike denominators.
Okay, so in this scenario, the student might type in a homework question, something like, how do I add 14 plus 23? Now, instead of just spitting out the answer, study mode kicks in. ChatGPT starts guiding them step by step. First, it might ask, okay, what's the least common denominator, the LCD, of 4 and 3?
Making them figure out the first step.
Exactly. It might even use text-based fraction bars or emojis to give a visual sense of the sizes, helping them grasp the concept. If the student gets stuck, it won't just give the answer. It'll offer a hint, maybe prompt them to think about how to convert the fractions. And once they work through it, ChatGPT might say, great, want to try a similar problem? This reinforces the skill, making sure they're practicing the reasoning, not just getting the solution.
And the impact for that student is pretty powerful, right? They're actively doing the math reasoning, building real confidence because they solved it themselves, not just copied an answer. That feels like a huge shift.
Looking for a smarter way to protect and use your tech on the go? The Higher Ground Gear DataKeeper Plus CS is built for action. Work directly from the case without ever removing your device. Stay organized with a built-in storage pocket for accessories, and rest easy knowing you've got serious drop protection designed for real-world classrooms and busy professionals. The DataKeeper Plus CS. Organize smarter, protect better, and work wherever you are. For more information, visit hggear.com today.
At Your Way Learning, education is personal. With tools like our AI Lesson Builder, teachers can craft lessons that meet every student's needs. Your Way Learning, where your path becomes your power. For more, visit yourwaylearning.com today.
All right, for our second scenario, let's jump ahead to middle school. An 8th grader studying cell structures in biology, maybe getting ready for a quiz on plant versus animal cells.
Right. So this student might paste in the list of vocabulary terms. Nucleus, chloroplast, mitochondria, cell wall, cell membrane. ChatGPT in study mode wouldn't just define them. It would likely start sorting them using interactive questions. Like, okay, which of these structures do both plant and animal cells share?
Making them categorize and compare.
Precisely. Then, it would probably prompt the student to explain the function of each organelle in their own words. Why is the mitochondria important? What does the cell wall do? It's checking for understanding, the why behind the what. Finally, it might quiz them with some multiple choice or short answer questions to really solidify that knowledge. It moves way beyond just rote memorization.
And the outcome there is crucial. The student isn't just memorizing definitions parrot fashion, they're actively retrieving information, applying what they've learned. That's key for genuine understanding and remembering it long term. Okay, and for our third example, let's look at a high school student, maybe an 11th grader, working on SAT reading comprehension. That's obviously a high-stakes area for a lot of students.
Definitely. So in this case, the student might upload or paste in a sample SAT passage and one of the multiple choice questions that goes with it. Instead of just saying the answer is C, study mode would likely highlight key context clues within the passage itself. It might ask a deeper question like, what kind of tone is the author using in this specific paragraph?
Getting them to analyze the text.
Exactly. And crucially, it would break down why each answer choice is right or wrong, rather than just revealing the correct one. It might even prompt some metacognitive reflection, asking something like, what strategy did you use to eliminate the wrong answers there?
Right.
Plus, it could offer tips on pacing for the test, and maybe suggest some follow-up practice passages at a similar difficulty level.
And the benefit, the student isn't just getting corrections, they're actively strengthening their critical thinking skills and building those essential test-taking strategies. Those are skills that go way beyond just the SAT. These three examples really showcase the breadth, don't they? How study mode can adapt to different learning needs, different ages, different subjects.
Yeah, they do. Though it's also important to, acknowledge that study mode is still evolving. Right now, it's based on those custom system instructions we talked about, which means occasionally you might still run into minor inconsistencies or maybe even small errors. But the good news is that the feedback from users like you is constantly being used for ongoing development. They're actively refining it.
So it's getting better all the time.
Hopefully, yes. And looking ahead, the plan is apparently to integrate these proven learning methods more directly into the main models. That should lead to an even smoother, more consistent experience. They're also talking about potential future improvements, like adding visual representations for complex topics, maybe goal setting and progress tracking features, and even more personalization.
That sounds promising. Now, one current limitation, or maybe just a reality, is the lack of, say, admin locks, right?
Yeah.
You can easily switch back to the regular ChatGPT mode if you just want a quick fact. So it does still come down to self-discipline and having clear learning goals if you really want to maximize the benefits.
Absolutely.
Maybe pairing up with a study partner or joining an online learning community could help with that accountability aspect.
That's a good point. And if we kind of zoom out and connect this to the bigger picture, study mode feels like it represents maybe the next frontier for AI in education. It's like AI learning to teach you how to fish, not just handing you the fish, right?
Nice analogy.
Well, think about it. There was some recent research showing that students using standard ChatGPT for things like essay writing actually shows significantly lower brain activity compared to students using Google search or just writing unaided.
Wow, really? That's concerning.
It was a bit of a red flag for passive learning, yeah. Study mode directly counters that trend because it turns ChatGPT into the interrogator, the guide. It makes AI more of a partner in actually building knowledge, not just a shortcut. And it's worth noting, too, that other companies are moving this way. Anthropic's Claude introduced a similar learning mode a few months back. It signals a real industry pivot towards more responsible, interactive AI tutoring.
Okay, so to quickly recap our deep dive today, we've explored what ChatGPT's study mode is, essentially an innovative, interactive learning environment designed to help you deepen your understanding. We've walked you through how to get started with just a simple toggle in your settings, and we've seen some really concrete examples of how it can genuinely transform the learning process across different ages and subjects, helping you build not just knowledge, but essential skills too.
And this really raises a fascinating and I think important question for all of us to think about. As these powerful AI tools continue to weave themselves into our lives, into our classrooms, how are we going to redefine what smart means? How will we leverage these technologies not just to accumulate knowledge, but to foster genuine wisdom and critical thinking?
That is a powerful thought to end on. We really encourage you, our listeners, to explore study mode for yourselves. Dive in, experiment with it, and continue your own deep dives to learning. Thanks so much for joining us today.
For more on Classroom Dynamics, follow us on X at Class Dynamics or on Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. And be sure to search Classroom Dynamics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast shows.